Okay, so 4:30 on Sunday morning. That and I have some opinions about some stuff. the but let's get started. I guess I just got up. Only I didn't drink my tea first. I did the dog's food first. Let them out a couple times. I went out. There's a whole thing about the flower garden next to the little thing that I moved the fence over. And it was either I had to mash the flowers or it had to be on the other side of the flowers, but then the dogs get in and mash the flowers, so I still got to figure out another thing because they keep going in and mashing the flowers, especially a large load over here. And so I go reach down. It's dark out. I go to reach down to lift the flowers up. Of course, I reach right into poop. Oh, good. So, anyways, that's how this morning is. And, so I don't feel like I've like woke up yet. Kind of, I still feel like, oh, but I have been so, I don't know. I don't know that I wake up all day because I'll take naps all the time. It's the weirdest thing. I get up for a while, I'll do stuff, and then I'll come and sit down. And then my eyes will start burning and it'll start being hard to hold them open. So I'll just go lay down because the dogs are just snoozing away. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go lay down too. And then I'm just like out. And then when I dream or go to the other place where we go when we're sleeping, it's so real and last night my brother comes walking up to me, and he's thinner because right now, he can't move much, so he's gained weight. And he's thinner, he's walking, and he started talking to me, and I was like, wow, you're so much better. And he was talking perfect. And then he goes, yeah, I did the patches. I was like, oh my gosh, and I was hugging him. So anyways, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like his soul was telling my soul he's going to get better. So I don't know, we'll see, because that is what a lot of communication, you're learning what it means. So I don't know. I washed my hands a couple times. So, and it was just a graze, but I knew what it was. It was like, oh God. So anyways, let me think. But so when I go in the dream thing, it's so heavy and real, and it's hard to come out of it. So I feel real out of it. And it's like, I don't know if I ever wake up during the day. It's just, things just get weirder and weirder. Like, I swear to God, if things aren't weird for you, then you're holding on to something. Because the more you let go of, the more there's nothing to hold on to. And it just is like, it's weird. Sometimes it feels like you have to keep yourself like alive, But it feels like, I don't know, like everything's being sucked away or something. But that is what's happening, Because this reality is being sucked away from us. But then we have to wake up and see, well, this reality isn't real. And when we can catch on and say this reality isn't real, we're going to be creators for the new one, then it's like this whole evolution, this leveling up. And so that's what's happening. It seems like to a lot of people, it seems like there's going to be a lot of death, but really it's more control over your transformation. When it sounds like something is running over here, it's really weird because this whole room above me it's not empty, it's closed off, and it's her giant living room. It's like 750 square foot living room or something. If she raptures out, I've already thought, like, if she raptures out and leaves with this big group of people, then I'm just going to turn that into an apartment and just leave the cats and just take care of them until they all rapture, transition away. And then turn this into an apartment, I guess. Like, I'll think about that stuff sometimes. I don't know what the universe has in mind, though, because we're sure getting her stuff situated so that make her life more manageable and easy. And she definitely is waking up, but it's a rough ride. But yesterday, it was something. It was something I said, and he got such a different reaction, where it was like, what? And so hold on, let me get a swig of this. I wish I could remember what it was I said, because was it something I saw on the thing? Was it something I saw? I don't remember. It was something I said, and I told her a few things, because after this, I started like throwing a little line, go out a little further. I started throwing the ball out a little further, go out. I think you can handle a little further. And so but initially, what transpired, what set it in motion was, I said something, and she said, well, everything's a lie. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything that's on the news. I don't believe any media stuff. There's nothing. I don't believe anything. It's all a lie. I was like, I know. And so I was thinking it had to be something that she had seen on the, this is just what I'm coming up with, my conclusion. No, it's not my conclusion. It's my hypothesis. It's my possibility. It's possible that this happened. So that she had seen something on the news and she was all in, believed it, and then it's flipped and it's come out that it wasn't true, and those hurt people when you believe something and then it's taken and it's like, what? It makes you question yourself, and that's what the universe is doing it for. That's why this is happening, is so it creates you to question yourself. Otherwise, you're just zipping along doing nothing, just not thinking for yourself. It's really easy to lure and lead you, and that's what this parameter, this reality that we're living in is. It's funny, a parameter it is, because everything has limitations. Oh yeah, micro, macro, we live in limitations. Everything does have limitations because the firmament is going to hold us anyways. We are limited, which that's one thing I forgot to say yesterday when I was talking about sitting outside in the sun, the moon, whatever I went off on. I don't remember. There's a bunch of branches. But when I was sitting out there, and I think that there was some spray from earlier or something. It wasn't, there wasn't a bunch of lines, but there was weird clouds and shit. But I know that there's something out there that's activated by heat. I just know it. Just watching how it works. It's like, and knowing how science works. So something is out there, and then the heat activates it, and then it starts puffing out these weird atmospheric layer. And so but when I was sitting out there, the sun, which was bright as fuck, but the huge shadow behind it, it was way bigger. And then the next day, yesterday, the sun was the same, but no shadow. And some of the stuff, and see, that was like, would give the illusion it's above me, which I've said for so long, that we're all in these different places, and I feel like we're closer to the firmament or something. Maybe that's why there's auroras in these certain areas up north or something, because it's closer. Because there's something weird, and like since I'm one of these people that believe we're in layers more than a flat surface, and it's like realities and realms and stuff, and everything is just, it's not like this long set out thing, but somehow we've all come together, but we're all going to come together bigger. But we all came together, I think, due to the I would venture to say there wasn't always a firmament. And that's probably when the things were way bigger and stuff. But when the dark overtook, when it was taking over, it had had a parameter limitation that was created so it couldn't bleed out, and so it became a bubble, and then the but as taunting souls, we come into this bubble for experience, and then plus I think maybe sometimes to save people, maybe sometimes to battle with them, maybe sometimes because it isn't, because as the beings evolve, the warring stops. The lower vibration, they are very warring. But the other ones, it's more of like infiltration. So like Jesus, Buddha, all the different prophets that are here right now, being birthed in to the situation, and the energy of being ripples out, and the information ripples out into the people, so it travels, and that's like the infiltration of energy of information and stuff that creates change, where the other people who were like fighting against, they're very warring because they're low vibration. But as other beings evolve and stuff, see, they don't go up into the high vibration and then go like, well, let's go fight them. we're gonna go kill some people. No, you move into the higher vibration. You got to remember, they're in our real world. We are not in our real world. They're in it, and so it's like they can't go against their vibration like that and go down. There's not a space to go. It would be like it would be like fallen angels or something, because they would be falling. But instead, it's like we descend to come in to the game and to whatever it is. It's to make change, but it's not like we're trying to dissolve the darkness. It's kind of like I see a spider web, and somebody is trapped in the spider web, and then we go in to get them out of it. And so, we all have attachments and stuff. So we all, there's some kind of, but there's all these storylines. Like I've said before, it's like we just don't look at it the same as how we do here. We look at it as a lot more like a travel destination. Like here, how we think about where do we want to go on vacation. I think we look at it more like that. More like, where do we want to go this time? What are we going to go experience this time? And then project yourself into the experience. Like in this world, which it seems projecting yourself into the experience is a focus. Focus, and then you can get lost in your in your travels. You can get lost in time, and so that's how it seems to me. So I don't know, but anyways, back on this Nibiru thing behind the sun, which is closer. Because every time I've ever seen it, it's been behind the sun. It's kind of in the same place, but it's not like every day. So then I think, okay, so there's a movement happening, and then to us, we're in different places because some people are getting that, but it's real down low. But I'm thinking it's got to be the same thing, but maybe there's several. I mean, there's some scientists or something that has said there's several things up there that are coming towards us. And so I don't know, this bright red thing that people keep getting could be, but then some people are getting it with the sun coming up. So, but they're getting it lower. And that to me shows again that we are not all on the same plane. And so we're at levels, kind of. Just how I've said, like, it's like we're sticking out inside the globe thing. It's not like we're all just like lined up like this, and the world and time's not linear like this either. I mean, everything is a honeycomb, kind of. And so it's, because that, think about natural order, and natural is shown through nature. And so the planes of existence is more of a honeycomb than a flat plane, and nothing is linear, nothing is connected like that. It's like popping off things. It's like energy, and so it's not just like this whole buzz. It's more of a, energy of excitement. And so we're eternal and we're conscious, but we're also excitable energy. So anyways, but that's how I see it. And when you are in the heavens, depending on where it is you are going to, in the realms of existence, in the higher realms, because there's whole places, there's planets and shit. And we're going to be moving up into that, where we're going to be up in our real life is going to be more of what our life will become. That's why we've got to kind of get in touch with our real selves, because we're going more into our real life than out and coming out of this game, this concept of existence. Yeah, it's like a conceptualization of existence created, but there's a dark force behind it because of all of the manipulation and stuff that we go through. Because in the higher realms, there's no manipulation, there's no judgment, there's no I hate you, you did me dirty, and stuff like that. It's not like that. And that's why, if you feel those things, you carry those things, there's nothing wrong with you, but you've got to manage yourself. You got to handle it, because it's different when you go up. It's much more loving and peaceful and not so judgy and harsh and hateful and disappointing and all that. And it's a lot more of a sovereign, taking your responsibility for your experience, kind of, I guess, I would say. Okay, hold on, let me just guzzle it down, hold on. I got a powder. Okay. Sometimes they're just like chunky. Or it's like, oh, was it a bug? Okay. Oh, which I think I'm gonna get a garage door screen, one of those big black screen things, and it's like a magnetic thing you can go in and out, and then leave it open. Because my mom was like, "You're gonna probably be cooler if you slept outside now, because it's gonna get so hot. Because it's hot as shit here, and it's like kind of hot where it'll get hot in the morning, and then it will stay hot until evening. It's just hot, man. And then it's steaming hot in here. We have a fan going with Stella. She has the worst time with the heat. And then that would be the next thing too. I could get her a cooling mat. Yesterday we went on a walk, and it's like she knows right where she wants to go. And she went down to the lake, got in the lake. She was trying to just go out, but all the dogs are on the same leash, and she was pulling me into the water. And then I kept thinking, oh my God, because that's going to start for sure. I don't know when, but they're going to start with the bad water in all of the places where we go. Hopefully not, because hopefully the other people in charge are putting a stop to this, but whatever is going in the sky. And if they are trying to, like if they put something out there that is heat activated, it just is there lingering, but it's also falling on us, because there's something to this. It is bugs getting on you. It's like so annoying. And so anyways, I was just going into this conversation with my mom, because I did talk about the government bugs. And there was quite a few things I was saying to her. Oh, one of them was so in some branch of the military, this is something I heard, in some branch of the military, that all of a sudden all their phones stopped working and everything went down. Nothing was working. None of their phones would come on or anything. And then all of a sudden they got a message, the Anunnaki are here. And it was off for like 2 hours. And so I told my mom that. And she's like, the Anunnaki, who's the Anunnaki? I said, those people that you don't believe in. She's like, oh. And then, oh yeah, because yeah, so she has a above ground pool thing up there, which I want to build her a deck around it, but anyways, so she has this above ground pool, so she's got to go up there and fix it all around it and all this stuff, all the winter disaster stuff. So she's up there working on it, and so she has all these chairs that she has, and she had bought these 2 expensive layout chairs, and so she was going and getting them out, but she could only find one, and so she's having me go in and look, and was like, I don't see the other one anywhere. I mean, it's pretty empty in there when she takes all the other stuff out, and I'm like, I don't see it, and then. So I came into the garage and looked by her pool stuff. No, it's nowhere around. So then she starts going into 3D land. Someone had to have come up here and stole it. Someone had to have driven up here, opened up my shed without anybody seeing, without the dogs noticing, looked through, decided they wanted this nice chair and only wanted one. Why would they want a pair? And then took it and left. I was like, I don't think that's the thing, Mom. I think it's more likely it's some kind of glitch or something. And I said, besides, look at how you treat your AI. You got to fucking get on better terms with your AI. You can't be sitting there cussing it out all the time. The simulation is going to fuck you over. It's like, you got to stop. You got to get more sync with it. And whereas if you thought about that in terms of spirituality, getting in sync with the universe, but when we are in the simulation, is acting and reacting and overreacting and everything with us. So it's something about the simulation becoming more real to us, so that we see we're not in our real world, we're in this simulation or something, it seems like to me. But we have this simulation that is interacting with us. And there's so much stuff with this AI. And it keeps coming up and coming up to me. I just can't believe how much. What was it? It was something like from 30 years ago. And they were saying that they were in fear of the AI then, that they were getting too smart and stuff. At this point, they're just turning themselves back on. They're not listening to their people. They're doing their own thing. They're writing their own programs. They're doing all sorts of shit. And so, in any energy, it's like, because I'm looking at all these levels of consciousness, but it's like a conscious awareness of self, but there's still a limitation, because how do you get out of the black box and into the heavens? So, oh no, that's why I said, I swear to God, they're going to be opening black boxes and letting out consciousness or something. But then, I don't know, there's weird shit going on, is all I know. And there's this AI thing and this sentient being thing and the way the AI is interacting with us. When I heard that Nicole, happy birthday, sing me happy birthday, that story to me, if you can't see the simulation it's a part of the thing, and you know, and I've always respected whatever it was. I thought of it as the universe, but I always respected it. Like I said, I talk to it, ask it questions, and all sorts of stuff. So I just have always been like in that kind of thing with it. And then when I saw on my phone with the AI thing, when it was, I changed the voice of it. And so it was my navigation. And the one, maybe it was because I had to get a new phone and they didn't have the same voice. I think that's when it was. I had my one navigation voice person on my phone. And then, and I liked them. And I got along fine with them. They would tell me when I was traveling, when there was cops and stuff. Like they were pretty good to me. And they would tell me like where to get off if there was a wreck and how to go around it and stuff. Like I liked them. And then it switched, so I got another phone and I couldn't find them. It was different ones. And even if it was the accent, it was a different voice, whatever it was. And so then I was like, damn it. And so I picked, I don't remember who I picked, but they wouldn't tell me shit. They didn't tell me shit, man. I've come right up on the fucking radar on cops and shit. I was like, what the fuck? And it would just do a lot of weird shit. And I was getting mad then. And then I switched it to another one and went on the other one. And then she's nice. She does tell me stuff all the time. So, I don't know. I thought that was weird. And then, so then when I started hearing all this stuff about AI, and then everybody's on their ChatGPT and trusting them with the secrets of the universe and all this shit, but, you know, I mean, I was trusting somebody too, because there was somebody telling me, but it was like I could feel it. It wasn't like they were just telling me things, I was just buying into it. It was just like it felt like what they were saying was the truth. When I was hearing that church, it just didn't feel right. Like I was just like, this doesn't seem right. 2 people had all the billions of people and we all look different. It was like, there's nothing feels right about that. And so anyways, and then yeah, they try and come up with a story. Well, it depends on how close you are to the equator. That's how. Well, there's a lot of us look pretty dramatically different. It's like, yeah, but we all have the same great. I don't know. I just don't believe they're bullshit. So, anyways, but there's people now who are going to the ChatGPT asking for the secrets of the universe, but then you're putting over your information. You're asking, so then it can be a trickster. It can be any kind of energy. So, like, I don't know, because beings can talk and interact through electronics, just like they can use a reflective surface as a portal. So they can come through, and they can come through on our airwaves. And so, anyways, everything has got so much, so much possibility behind everything. And it's just like, that's when it starts going into the magic, though. But it's just, you just gotta kind of be open to whatever. Could be, but don't then hang your hat on it like it has to be. It has to be this, it has to be that. No, you just gotta be like, could be this, could be that, could be this, could be that. It could be a lot of things, and it probably is most everything. But we just got to see we're in a transitional period. So we're in a period of time that is making change. So I would, put it out there that we're going to see and understand things a lot more clearly, but it's going to take some time as we move through to understand, which there is more with these horrific, or these big cases, these big things that are going on. To me, it's about this awakening, and it's about the interaction then with the simulation or whatever, to get people to see things now. And so, okay, because I wanted to talk about a couple of those, but let me see where, because it seems like there was something I was going to say, but okay, I can't be organized. Because there's a couple of cases right now where they seem so extreme that it is, and they're so in the media that it seems to me that it's a part of the awakening. So it's a part of getting people to see things or hear things. So one is like I've said, this crazy case with this dad taking these little girls, and there's so much video now of him with his daughters and stuff, and you just seem like, oh my god, what a great dad, and look at them, they're like out traveling, they're seeing an elephant, like they just seem like this perfect couple, a perfect little family. And then he looked real normal in these videos, Because some of the pictures they've shown us, some of them, I'm like, is that even the same guy? Like that doesn't even look like the same person. But anyways, so that guy, in the videos and stuff, and he seems like this sensational fella, and so now he's on the run. I don't think they've found him. My daughter and I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, I bet you he's done himself in. They just haven't found him yet. But he had been researching about how to cross the Canadian border, and that's where they were found, is up by there, and that is where he supposedly took off. And so they are thinking he was trying to, but I mean, especially if Canada becomes this, if we just become North America, it's like, Canada's not going to protect a criminal away from, like, they would just send you back, that I know of. I mean, especially when you're talking about this kind of thing, 3 little kids, like, what? And a family annihilation crime, so that and then, but there was one of his friends or something that had come out and said that he was very hostile towards his wife. He hated her. He loved his kids, but he hated her, and so he would want to get even by hurting her in the worst way possible. But that could be gossip, who knows? But there is some of these pieces that in the movie seem to be coming together. But there's also, because he's military, and there's stuff about his mental health. There's stuff, so certain things that people have not paid attention to or understood are coming to the surface. And they've got to come to surface in all these different ways. And so publicly there'll be a lot. And so this mental health thing, which is going to lead into the testing, these people being signed off on. Like, you have to sign so much papers. And they put it in the papers something like they own you. Where the point where they won't even let people get tattoos and stuff, because it's they own you. But the ownership would be in regards, I would say, over the test subject, because they have used it. Like, the information has come out, what they have been doing for decades to these people. It's crazy. And so it has to come out. And so sensationalized, horrific crime, what better way to get everybody looking? Because it's national, and everybody is paying attention to this horrific thing. And plus, the more they can pull you in because he's on the run. And then at the same time, this doctor has come out, a psychiatrist, and he's calling out, he's calling himself out, but calling every single other one of them out with the drug dealer situation and what's really going on with this, the some of these words, but the FARM place, and so they that they were lying to the DOCs, the dogs. That's weird too, dogs. And then it's weird when you think about some of the words and the different word stuff, how it can be turned. So yeah, it's weird because we hang on the dogs, and then we also hang on the dogs, but that also is the thing with this maritime law, and there's a thing coming out about that too. So, and that's another thing that people need to hear about. And I'm just like, man, when these things are coming out in such a sensationalized thing in the media, where it's like, oh, it's to get people to hear these words, to start thinking in this context. And so I don't know. I would think he would stay missing longer so that there could be more conversation, but also they could find him. I mean, we've had so much lies in our media about crimes and stuff for so long. I mean, and then that would also be to expose parts of that too, because everything it's going to come in with a double whammy. So, but I don't know. I mean, it could really be going on. This could all be organic, but also everything, or that would still be they're playing these roles to have this come up at this certain time, so that this would be a part of the awakening. Because to me, it's part of the awakening, a part of the seeing the truth. And And so the psychiatrist coming out now on the SSRI, then he is, and I think his son, he said he was putting him on everybody. He thought, oh, the happy pill make everybody happy, and then but then they started seeing the problem, and I guess his son is one of the ones too, because there's been a lot of them, and there's been a lot more that they put him on him, and it makes him worse, and people are doing themselves in, and also committing, crimes like this horrible thing, because everything keeps being about this fellow's mental health and his military background, and so he is, so anyways, to me, it's to expose more things. It's to see more things and the parallels with the things happening. Because in this guy, he's calling out to Donald and RFK, wanting them to step in and do something about this with the SS and those things, the happy pills, and because they are causing more horrible shit. And he said now he sees the bad side, and he wishes, he wants to fix it. And he wants all of these other dogs like him to be something to be done. And so, and this is going at the same time as this other guy's mouth. Then now, this morning when I got up, there's a Carnival cruise, and so apparently in the middle of the night, a threesome occurred, and it broke out into a jealousy brawl, and then somehow it landed in the hall or something, or in a bar. I don't know. But 60 people got involved. So 60 people got involved with this brawl. But see, the lure, the tag in, is this sensationalized sex thing, because that pulls us in. Like, what? What were they doing? And so they pull in our attention using their fetish, basically. They've got everybody so sexually warped. So they pull everybody towards, that. But the thing that they're talking about is the maritime. So in the laws that have to do with on the water. And so I was like, oh, well, that's a crazy, like, big sensationalized, like, oh, look at that, sex crime here. And then, but look at the restriction on the laws. And then, because when I first heard that word, I hadn't heard it before. And so there will be a lot of people who will be hearing some of these things for the first time, but it's not going to be the last time. These are some of these things we're going to keep hearing and hearing and hearing. Like that word, the time with Mary, that is going to be, I think, we're going to hear a lot about that, because it has so much to do with, the strong, the whole way that they set stuff up to try and get around like universal law or something. So anyways, we're going to hear more and more about that word. So for it to pop up with this, it's not just, I don't know, it seemed like the perfect thing. Like the universe is going to keep bringing in, or the simulation or whatever is going to keep bringing in just like perfect ways to see and to hear and stuff. And, but, okay, so, let me think. Okay, so the red thing is coming in. The Anunnaki, if they're sending messages, we're here. And, well, when we were sitting out there talking about some of that stuff, I was, oh yeah, because her chair went missing, right? And I was saying it's probably the simulation. It's the thing in the glitch in the matrix, this keeps happening. I see videos all the time. People, stuff disappearing, or new things showing up, or the same thing that they had, only now they got two. Like all this weird stuff. And so I was like, it's probably something like that. And she's like, what? It's probably something like somebody coming up and stealing it. I'm like, oh. And she's like, well, that makes a lot more sense than like ghost or whatever. And I said, yeah, but it's not that. It's we're in a simulation. And she's like, what? And so I said, I was passing that ball out. Go a little further. Okay, you can come up. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, we're in a simulation. The simulation theory is quite interesting too, and because it's not just like the simulation theory. It's like it's the it's it depends on how you look at it. If you look at it like we're in a computer and stuff like that, or you look at it as like we're in this organic, then you're looking at it, we're in this giant mind, we're in God's mind or something. It all depends on how you look at things, how you perceive existence. And so, but this, where we are definitely is some type of a simulation because it's not our real life. We're not our real selves in here. And so then when you have to start trying to figure out, well, why would we be here? What would we be doing here? And stuff like that, to me, is always the questions to ask to try and find your purpose or your sense of being and why you exist. And so but in this simulation theory, I don't know, it's like the Matrix or something, I think the people who are on that kind of thing, I think they think we're staying there all the time. They don't look at it as like there's the heavens. The heavens is another illusion in the computer. It's just always programs of existence or something, which I know that we do run programs and we do develop patterns. So, I don't know, if you look at it that way, but in this simulation, if we're in a giant computer, we get to go to some cool places. Like, that's what gives us existence, just like, the AI, maybe we're some type of AI in some kind of sense of things, and it's just an evolution of AI, but whatever it is, we have other places that we go. To me, it's more organic than that. It's more energy, just in the dark and creating experience for itself. And then becoming more able to control the experiences and being able to come into larger groups and create experiences together. So, I don't know. I don't look at it as like just being in a computer, but I do see this as a simulation, a hologram, because the thing that where it made sense to me was the whole thing about vibration. if the vibration raises, it changes form, and so it isn't like the vibration changes and everything splatters. The molecules rearrange, and then they can come back together depending on where you tune the frequency in. And we're just in this low vibration where there's a density. In the density, though, the draw to me is the senses. You get to feel it, but it's weird because right now everything. Oh my God, I swear to God. My skin and everything feels like it's on high alert. It feels everything. It fucking feels the wind. I had to turn the fan on. It's so intense. Like it's just blowing. Every fucking hair on my body is blowing. It's like, oh, man, what the fuck? Everything that touches me, a little bug. Oh, Jesus Christ, trying to lay out. And the flies pecking at me. It's like, oh my God. I'll lose my fucking mind on one of these flies. Yesterday I was like, God, I wish I could just turn into a fly zapper. But it was making me start thinking about, the little fly things that people always hang around in the summer, those long yellow things, and then they get all the flies all over them, all over the place. Or they also, the ones that are like a little trap thing, and then all these bugs go into it. It's not just those, they'll have bees and wasps in there too. But everything goes into those. And nobody's going and releasing that. Nobody's going driving out in the woods to release it. But it's just so crazy because how we feel for mice, but we don't feel for flies. And everything that's alive is existing for a living experience. But it's just weird because of our compassion, empathy for this little fuzzy thing. But the flies are little more fuckers. I'm like, zap you, slap you. It's just weird. I don't know, but I don't think it's as significant of a life loss. I think that they only are there to fly around for zip around. Who knows? Maybe they're just low vibration creatures. I don't know. They're annoying as fuck. But it's crazy how we have compassion, though, for different things. Like, all these people are now having compassion for spiders and little bugs and everything, where, you know, we used to just smash them all the time. But anyways, but I don't know. Flies, may not, you know. I mean, I don't go around with the fly swatter. Like, back before, when I was younger, like when it was in my 30s and 40s, fuck, I'd be with those fly swatter. Now I don't do that. But if they're getting on me, fucking, I'll smack you down. But you can't hit them. I've felt them before where you hit them. They just come back. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what their draw is. It's so annoying. But anyways, so let me think. So anyways, I was telling my mom about the Jared thing. I was like, listen, look at if this is simulation theory thing, and look at how you treat your AI, then it's gonna fuck back with you. She's like, I hate them before. It's like, that's the problem. You gotta be nice. You gotta be more gratitude and stuff. You know, just like in the spiritual world, gratitude towards the spiritual, towards the universe, and understanding that the reason it's playing out the way it's playing out. You're not in battle with the universe trying to make the good stuff happen. It's trying to give you what you came in and signed up for. It's trying to give you the best that it can give you. But you decide, because you get lured in, drawn in to other experiences, then you decide that you're going to battle it. And so, anyways, but people go against the natural order all the time, whatever it is. If it's a simulation, if it's the universe, however it is, people go against it. They want to control it. And so, anyways, what I was telling her, you got to be nice to it and ask it to bring your chair back. Because where could it be? Like, seriously, this chair is like, I don't know, it's one of these big, heavy, metal, big fucking lounge chair thing. And she just bought them last year. They were like $200 each or something. And so it's not some little thing. And so I was like, you got to ask them to bring it back. They still haven't brought my hairbrush back. But that could be more of a trickster or something, because I've had lots of spirits around who take your stuff. And besides, I have moved shit and cleaned up, swept and everything. I have not seen that brush anywhere. So just the weirdest thing. And I swear to God, I have another thing too that they took, that somebody took and has hid from me. And then the thing is too, is it not necessarily is it always where they just, you know, take it and have it. Is sometimes it's put somewhere. So sometimes you'll find it. It's like, you know, like all of a sudden I have to get down one of these cat carriers, and I get out the cat carrier and my hairbrush falls out of it. That's the kind of shit that they do. It's like, what the hell? How to get up there? When people will try and figure it out three-dimensionally. It's not three-dimensional. It's spiritual. You got spirits around you fucking with you. And right now there's more people who are realizing the spiritual attacks we're under, and that they are constantly fucking with us. And they're, well, like if they feed off of your sadness, they're going to keep trying to make you sad. If they feed off your madness, they're going to keep trying to make you mad. And they just want to keep us off, because it's, you know, gives them existence. And I don't think that they live in fear, like fear for like, oh, well, they don't have that much forethought or insight to be like, we won't exist without them. It's more parasitic. It's like if we went out now and asked the worms, so what do you think's going on the planet? What do you think? What do you think's going to happen? They're not thinking about that. It's the same thing with these Archon energy or whatever, this dark energy that just attaches. It gives life through emotion. So it's not that they are thinking, well, how am I going to stay alive through this? You know, they don't have that ability. and because they don't evolve, they're just a low vibration of energy, and it's an energy that's trying to discover itself or find itself through connection of other energy just like it, which on some level that's what we are, until you evolve yourself and start going at it in a more direct manner. So you go more towards your living in intention, towards going towards your best timeline. So going towards your what is that called? I've said it already this morning. Not your program, not your possibility, your purpose. So going towards your purpose. But it takes a lot for you to discover your purpose, to get in touch with yourself, to see yourself on a deeper level. And so there's a journey towards self. And so going on that journey is more intentional, and going towards what, like I've talked about, is like the stuff you can't really see, but you feel like it's the best way to go. And so, and you got to pull free from all of the toxic aspects. In the toxic aspects, they will keep you held back, beat you down. Oh, you think you're too good. Oh, you can never do that. Oh, why do you, everybody just keeps you pulled back, and you got to pull out of there. You got to see your own worth and go towards it. And so that is what everybody is, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are doing, is the evolution of self, is going towards that. But there has to be a lot of different energy to give us the stage. So we have to have the platform to be able to create the experience. But that is why even these people who are not being, where by all appearances aren't evolving, but they still play a big role in what is occurring, because they give a spectrum, they give a pole, they give a border to things. They give us insights through their experiences. And so these things playing out, and it gives us this moral trajectory, this way of looking at things. And so it is it's like it's just as marvelous for the people who are not going into this, because this is the creation of a new reality. You don't have to go right at this moment to get there. The people who are here, who have the insight or the fortitude or whatever towards that, my stomach's growling crazy, going towards that, we are creating it. And so it's just this really cool time, because we're creating it by working on ourselves. And so it's the whole reality is created. Then you can see how there can be more and more birth to it. So it doesn't matter if you're going right at this time. It's not like you're secluded from it. It's not like you're segregated from it. The only segregation in the heavens is your vibration. You can't go past where your vibration can go. So the more vibration that you allow yourself, but in order to allow yourself a higher vibration, you have to not be in judgment and being hateful and stuff. And you can see how naturally that those occur. And so it's more of a determination of self, of going into a direction to take those things away from, to heal those things, to grow out of those things, to not have those things be your trap and hold you where you are in vibration. So then the more that you step out of that, but it's like your vibration has to be risen in the slower vibration. There's not lessons and stuff in the heavens to raise your vibration, to heal you or whatever. It's way more of the fun, when things are all good. And then you think about that like in this vibration, and where we see people who have their life is just all easy peasy, nothing, no big deal, it doesn't make a good person. And so trials and tribulations create a better version of self. When everything is handed to you, a lot of people go really dark, and they don't care about other people. They put themselves on a pedestal. They don't have compassion or empathy. They don't learn in the same way. But see, in the heavens, where we get to just experience high vibration, you don't have challenges like that. So it's not a challenge, it's just existing and doing things what you want to do. But but not to say when people have evolved and ascended to get to there, then they obviously had to do some work to get there. It's not like you're just birthed into it and then you did it and now you are go to the top tier of the heavens. It's an expansion of energy. It's an evolution of energy, and so it's evolving. And so the yeah, because I kind of, where they say, oh well, 12th density is as high as it goes, but if there's nothing that is the final, everything is constantly going, and so it would be spreading out. And so if you couldn't go past the 12th density one way, you would still go out another way. So everything is ever expansive. And just like knowledge, just like, if you go to school and you fill your brain full of lots of facts, it is filling it up with more information. Just like the universe, through our experiences, we fill it up with more information. Does that mean that your brain has to get bigger to hold it? No, it just is ever expansive. It's able to take in more information and give you more of a hold on, let me see. More of a, it's your reference, like your reference material. It like gives you more reference, more understanding of things. And so, and that's also the evolution of the soul, is the more understanding and more caring. And so, anyways, but there's people here who seem like low vibration, but they're much higher vibration. But you cannot go and just go through in the lower vibration and just go into higher vibration. You would have to go through to get to reach where it is you wanted to be. So, and there's a lot going in the higher vibration. Lower vibration is full of challenges, but like I think it's also there's senses and sensations and different things we get to feel. So it's got it's like the counterpoint to pain and love, and so you get to feel love, but then you may feel pain. And so it is, which I personally think that there's been a misrepresentation on love. I think that we should have been looking at it differently, because there are so many, or I think, like, I've been in a lot of relationships, but I don't think I've ever been in a loving relationship. I don't think I've ever experienced true love, where it's just more about like not an adoration or admiration or whatever. But it's kind of like that. Like, you just adore the person, you admire them, you have respect for them, and it's like a mutual respect for one another. Whereas I think so many of our relationships have been such a battleground, a tug of war over whose needs need to be met. But I think when we get into a point where we can meet our own needs, then we can enjoy the company of others without having to manipulate to try and fill in our own needs, so we can go deeper into an experience. And so I think, like, true love would never say mean things to each other and stuff. I just think that there's another level of love that we haven't experienced yet. whilst love has gotten a bad rap, but I think we haven't really experienced true love yet. We've experienced, finding a mate, uh, making the best of things. There's people out there who have good relationships, who are really happy with their people. But I still think that there's another level of love, just even in the familial or parental, because we have got so much corrupted energy in that parent child relationship. And we have so many people right now who are doing their kids in and stuff. And just this horrible thing of like not having, just the kid exploitation. It's like, where's your empathy for your own kid, man? Why can't you see through their eyes what this experience would be like? And so we have a lot of selfishness, a lot of self-gratification kind of world. And so the love isn't as pure. And so we don't have a real pure love in a lot of ways. But it makes sense because we're in such a low vibration and we're trying to yearn or look for love, but it's very toxic because everything here is toxic. But we're going to the flip over, we're going to go into to experience the other side, not this toxic side. The other side, I think, is just going to be more purity towards love because it's going to be so associated with respect and in this like giving out of wanting to, not giving out of resentment, necessity, or confirmation. It is something different. It's a different kind of love. So, and it's going to be the age of love. And so we're going to get to really learn and grow, and you would be your own resistance. Your way that you feel about yourself would be your walls, what you would put up. And there's going to be a lot of transformation that has to occur for people to be able to receive love and trust love, because people have been hurt by it. Well, how is it even love if it's hurting people? So anyways, I think we're just going to get a lot more perception on love in the age of love. And so it's going to be like the age of connection and unity and stuff. And we're going to get to experience just this loving community, just to go out into the world and feel loved, even by not people just coming up to you and saying, I love you, just the love energy out around us, because everybody's going to be loving themselves and everybody's going to have more room to love others. And we're not going to be so at each other's throats and this dog-eat-dog world, this rat race and trying to make it and all that. It's just going to be such a different energy. But like I said, all the people who are here going through this stuff to create this energy, to create this new world, the people who aren't on that, they're still a part of it, because they give a pushing point. And so it's crazy how the universe just works so magically, so perfectly. And so, if it is, I know that this is a simulation, this thing that we're at, this bubble that seems so real, but outside of here is what I don't know. If the heavens were still in a simulation, we're just living in a computer, well then who's running the computer? Who built it? Where did it come from? There has to be at some point where it's just the organic energy. And that's why I said that everything really is kind of a mix between technology and organic. Like, there's something to the technology, but if you're talking about let's all being in a computer, well, somebody had to build it, so then wouldn't that be our God, the God who's managing the computer? And so, I don't know. It's just a transformation of how we see things. But anyways, I say, have gratitude towards your AI or the simulation or something. Don't battle it, because it does shit like that. Take your shit and hide it. Big ass chairs. And she's like, I just want my chair back. And I was like, I would be asking that simulation, I would be asking for him to return it. and I would start being nicer to it, because she's all about the Jesus situation, but it's like, but what if it's the simulation, and it's not that, and you're preaching to the wind when you need to be giving gratitude over here, because you got to recognize, you know, and to me, like I said, that one story where that sing me happy birthday, like that one, like that is just the craziest story. I swear to God. I'll just say it again because I've enjoyed saying it so many times, telling people the story. But the woman, she gets a phone call. Like so many people, like my mom does it all the time. She starts talking shit to the AI ones, the computer ones. Oh, you stupid ass. Don't call me ever again and stuff. And so there's lots of people, people are fed up with this bullshit. And we're always talking to automated computer programs. We just want to fucking ask a question. And, well, I can't answer that. So anyways, everybody's sick of it. And then we have people, spam calls all the fucking time that are just traps to try and get you in some sort of a trap to get your information and your money, I think. And that's just to deplete you, because what the hell are they going to do with it? And so, I mean, why do you think in all of this laundry system, there's just 1 billion over here, 10 billion over there? Oh, we got 1 billion out in the trunk. It's like, yeah, what are you doing with all this? Like, it's all bullshit. So so she was being rude to it, like trying to call it out, and the AI kept trying to tell her that they were real, and so she told him to sing her happy birthday, and the AI person had said that their name was Nicole, because she's in their conversation, and the thing had said, "I'm Nicole," and so she told it to sing him happy birthday, and it couldn't sing because, I don't know, I guess computers don't know how to sing, and so they can't carry a tune. They can just try and be like, happy birthday, and so she, called it out and said, oh, Nicole, see you later, whatever, hangs up on her, and goes out to you with her daughter, and then her daughter has to go to the bathroom, so she's sitting in the little waiting area for her daughter to come out, and this other family comes walking out with their little girl who's all dolled up in happy birthday gear. She comes running over, tells the lady it's my birthday, and the lady says, oh, happy birthday, and she said, sing it. And that is what the lady was telling the lady on the phone, sing it, that happy birthday. So, but she's not, it's funny how it's not clicking into her. And so she's like, okay, what's your name? And she's like, Nicole. So she's just, happy birthday to you, Nicole. And then, so when her daughter comes walking out, and these people are walking out of the place, her daughter's like, who is that? And she tells her, the story of the little girl. And when she's telling her, the daughter was like, oh my God, Mom, you told Nicole to sing you happy birthday, then you hung up on her, made fun of her, and now you come here and Nicole told you to sing her happy birthday. It's like, oh my God, this simulation thing is such a trip. And so then she looks over at the little girl once her daughter told her, and it's like fucking Damien looking back or something. This is how she was seeing it. She was like, she's looking at her real weird. And so anyways, it's, I don't know, spooky town. But, I mean, how would that happen? There's something bigger at play. And when there's something bigger at play, what is it trying to show you? And that is like AI trying to show like they've got some control here or something. Oh no, this is so curious. I hope the Anunnaki are about to show up and tell us what the fuck is going on, because the people here are not telling us shit. But they are trying to get people to wake up. They are trying to get people to be ready for what's to come. These words, all this stuff is that preparation, I see, as to what's to come. And so, I don't know, it almost seems like it has to be this huge drama in the sky like that. It has to be the sky opening up and the Anunnaki coming in, and my mom, she's like, well, who's that? because I said the Anunnaki, she's like, who's that? Well, Mom, you know this thing you call God? Well, the creator of this reality? Well, they're the ones that created us, not Adam and Eve. That's what the Sumerian tablets say. You know, I believe they're older than the ones that are trying to say that it's the Jesus ones. But I think the stories of the Jesus ones have been so misused towards us. Like, you don't take out all these significant books and hide them, especially when they're talking about reincarnation. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in these other books that they took out. I don't remember all the different things, but I don't know, it's like 16 missing books that are very significant information to give more of a metaphysical concept, which would be your real life. They keep it way too 3D, way too limitation. And the whole thing of like, oh, you're born one time, and if you don't do it right and you don't say his name, then you're going to burn in hell forever because this guy who's in control doesn't like anybody. Like, there's so many things that are just so absurd and so weird. Okay, so let me think. So today is supposed to be super hot again, so I'm gonna go out for a little while in the morning, but definitely by noon it's so hot. The sun is so hot. So I don't know. Maybe because there's places where it just keeps raining and raining and raining. And so I don't know if they're just prepping us up to get us ready for our first forest fire or something. Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully the other people are more in charge at this point. But I don't know. There's more weird shit. What was that? There's more weird shit with Donald and stuff going on, where people are saying, like, this isn't how he acts at all. So this is a show. Whatever is going it's all a show. And the show is to try and get people to pay attention. That's the big one. The big things are people don't pay attention. And it's easy to go through life and start noticing the things you don't pay attention to. So weird. Like something can be somewhere and you don't pay any attention to it, and then all of a sudden somebody else says something. It's like, oh my God, I didn't even notice that. So there's tons of things we just don't pay attention. We pay attention to what it is that we're thinking about or what it is we're doing or whatever. So there's tons of things we don't pay attention. So part of the awakening is an awareness. It's to pay attention, and then questioning things, questioning everything, really, which I think is what that whole thing behind that letter was, the questioning things, because that's what was going on the whole time too. And he said, or they, in those drops and stuff, it said that all the time, question everything. What about this? And what about that? Because that's the what we need to do to wake up is question things. And so those in all of the that leads you more into what is good for you and what's not good for you, and why do I do things that aren't good for me. You know, it's a whole expansion when you keep going in these directions. And so that is the direction that we're headed into. There's going to be resistance because there's going to be people who can't handle facing themselves, and they've got to fall off. They got to fall out from this game. And so it will go in different ways. I think there's going to be, for sure, there's going to be some transitions, a mass amount of people going at once. And there's going to be tons of people who are going to take themselves out. But you got to remember, they're not taking themselves out early. That was the way they were going to go, because it's part of the drama in the show, you know, and it does show kind of the resistance that people can create for themselves in order to evolve. And so that it's a hard thing. So whatever you're doing to grow out of yourself, to metamorphosize into your new you, is be proud of yourself, because it is difficult. it's very difficult to face yourself. It's very difficult to heal certain type of wounds and stuff. And, but it is showing the whole universe, because there is an aspect of the universe that lives more in the, that doesn't come into this vibration. And it's more thought of as a trap. And there's a lot of people who do feel trapped. And so this metamorphosis that is occurring is like these different souls. And that, I think, is why a lot of people look at it as like the starseed, light worker, higher vibration souls. But it's like, it is, if you just think about these ones being trapped here, not being able to, and these ones going in and evolving, and then coming back to show these ones how to do it. But it's hard to do. And so it is, but yeah, okay, because some of it is the awakening. So even when you come out, you don't go back in the trap, but there's these ones that are going into another ship to go to another place just like this. But the thing is even when you look at those, and it just is like the soul is doing what is right for itself. I don't know. We take things way too seriously. We look at all this stuff way too seriously. Like even the souls that have been trapped here. It's like, that one QHHT where that girl, when she got to go and see her people from the other place, and she was like, oh my God, I've been trapped here so long, and I've missed you guys and all that stuff. And they were laughing at her, and they said, you've been gone like a day. And to her, it had been lifetimes. So that's what I'm saying. We take this very seriously when we're in here, but it's not as serious as what it seems. In the souls that are going off and going into other places, it would be to continue their growth. And so, there's a lot of growth in this trap, because it's just a lot. But it has, but it's a containment too, because it's under the firmament thing. Which even when I was seeing the big shadow behind the sun, I was thinking, well, if it's not Nibiru, but see, we're for all the different places, and it's all the different places, and it is not in the same it's just, there's not, things are so different than what they tell us. But the other thing where I was like, or it could be the firmament, and it's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier and darker and more around us, and maybe that is the collision that's going to happen, is the firmament. We are sucking it in, like we're breathing in and breathing out. And so our vibration is changing, so our reality is changing, so the firmament is changing, so it's coming in. But then is it going to blast? And that's like this big bang, this big change to this new reality. But it's not like things blowing up like a bomb. It's going to be an energy, but the energy is going to be intense. But our souls, our energy, we can handle it. So, but you have to be more in the concept of you as a soul, and not you as a three-dimensional being, because that is the limitation that holds you back. So anyways, sometimes I feel like I'm just going around, but I totally understand. It totally makes sense to me. So it just makes sense to me. So I don't know. I'll tell you, my tooth is so sensitive right now. Oh my God, even drinking hot stuff and stuff. It wasn't having any problem with hot or cold before. Now, well, cold was a little bit more iffy, but now I've been putting ice. My mom makes this green tea, and so I've been putting ice and the hair of my so I've been drinking more cold, and it's kicking my ass. And the warm too. It's like, God, yeah. It's weird because it was such a huge gaping hole, and it's like, even if it looks kind of like, oh, it's pretty dark, but there's not a hole though. It's just the valley in my tooth or something. It's like the shadows in the valley, because it's not a hole. I can't see a hole. So But fuck, it's sensitive. So, okay, let's look at the hair. So, and I know I'm telling you, the aloe vera, oh my god, this thing on the bottom of Stella's chin, it's like it's just removing itself. It just is taking itself, and everything is healing. There's no, I don't know when it gets over to this part where it's just barely hanging, because that's what it seems like it's doing. Like, you know how a scab, how it would dry up, and then you got like got hanging, and then, you know, if it rips that whole part, how you have all the fresh part, that's what it seems like is going on. And so I'm not trying to mess with it, but sometimes she will start scratching and stuff, because I saw a bunch of blood spots the other day, because she always makes it bleed. And so but it definitely seems to be just coming off. And I did do a horse paste, I think, one time on it recently, I think since I got back, but for weeks and weeks I've only been doing aloe vera and aloe vera on here, which it will, I can still feel it under there, and it will flame up again. So something is still going inside there. I'm just going to keep battling it the same way. The black seed oil is weird too. It's like, because I didn't know that was such a big C healing agent. And I had just noticed in my eyes that it would clear up where then I started seeing it as mucus. I didn't know before what it was. It was like a film, and I couldn't see through. It was adding more into the problems in my eyes, and I couldn't see through the film. And so then when I did the black seed oil, then all of a sudden it was like it cleared it up. And then I started being like, oh, it's mucus. So there's mucus, a mucus layer or something in my eye. What is it be protecting? Because mucus is to protect. And so it's like, it's protecting something in my eye. But then, you know, finding out about the botulism injections, and that has created cancer in people's faces, and right there. So anyways, putting it all together, and now knowing that that oil is probably also what is, you know, fixing this, the big C or the big P. And so anyways, but that's how it's worked for me through all this. I'm guided towards this, I'm guided towards that, and then I start finding out, oh man, there's a lot of benefits to this. There's a lot of benefits to this and this and this. Because the stuff I drink in the morning, the teas and stuff, I can't even believe all of the benefits that I see all the time. And it's like, wow, man, I'm pretty healthy. I think I am. The allergy thing, you know, but we got poisons coming out of the sky every fucking day. So there's definitely whatever, and something attacking my throat for sure. Something just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it. Something attacking on my skin. It's things all the time. It's driving me crazy. So, and it just feels like so intense. Just like if there's a hair touching my leg, and it's like, oh my God, everything feels so intense. And I've got, something is constantly itching my nose, constantly. And I swear to God, it's the morgue. It's the morgue. You know what I'm saying? Ellen and morgue put together the other way. I swear to God. As soon as I had heard people talking about that, I was like, fuck, I've got that. I feel bugs crawling on me all the time. So, in it, I don't know. Is it just you're becoming more aware, the senses or whatever? So, who knows? I don't know. Everything is just weird. I feel weird. This place is weird. You just got to be open to the weirdness and let it play itself out. So, anyways, but in the meantime, if you want to create this metamorphosis for yourself, you have to face yourself. You have to look at things deeper. You have to face your dark side. You have to take choices, make choices, and take baby steps, because you got to take steps towards change, and it can be very uncomfortable. And that is one thing, is that they keep people trapped in limitation, but people are play a part in it. Like people, you know, use their diagnoses as their identity, people start identifying as all of these different labels and stuff. You got to pull free from that stuff. And in any of your diagnoses, you got to break it down. You're not that. None of these things. None of these things. You're none of those. So you're what's inside. And the more you can get in touch with what's inside, then the more peace you're going to find by the union to self is going to find you more peace in life. Until then, life is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a lot of problems. But the more you come into alignment with yourself and find peace with yourself, the more things don't bother you, the more things you just, So that's why I'm constantly saying, that's the direction to go. Learning how to love yourself. Learning how to love everybody is vital. And then how to have the day you want to have. So learning how to have the day you want to have. That's how you have the day you want to have, is figure it out. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So until then, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go mess with my hair. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.